My name is Anish. I'm fairly new to Google. So I'm trying to inculcate that Google culture, but I hope I'm Googly enough today. What today I'm going to cover, and you heard when the talk about everything, cover really, it's about innovation. How can a platform like Google, or how can Google really help leaders like you become the innovators of the company? And very interestingly, just a couple of days back, I was reading an article, an HBO article, which was talking about adaptive leadership. It spelled about how CEOs today need to adapt themselves and make sure that their employees can adapt to the new changes that are happening around, especially around the world today. You know, the way competition changes or the way the world changes is so fast. Did we ever predict the way that mobile is taken on? And I think there's no better country than India to see that. 10 years back or 15 years back, we paid what, 30, 35 rupees for an incoming call. Did we ever think that our guy, the vegetable guy, is carrying a mobile? I don't think so. Anyone could have visualized it. Did we even think about Facebook, the way it's changed, the way that not even our generation, I think it's more about our next level generation that's really communicating about it. So this is exactly what's happening to the world. It's the consumer web, which has changed so fast. And what are the real things that are really out there in the consumer web? It's about speed. I'm sure all of you Googled, right? We just have accepted the fact that if we want to find out about certain information, we want it in milliseconds. If we go out and try and shop today on the Flipkarts and different e-business solutions, portals that are there, we expect it to be there, and we expect it to be delivered in the next 3 days. It's become our standard. And that is what is changing. Here's a small example that I really want to show you as to how this consumer world is actually making the change. I think this. Hey! They're gone. Okay, good chat. That's truly the way that, it's making a difference to the way that we are communicating today. But what's happening is, these very consumer changes are making an impact to IT for business. It's changing the way that we are thinking about why are these tools different than what we use at home. If we are communicating using the social media, why are we not able to do it when we are in the office? If we are able to search for something in milliseconds on the consumer web, I should be able to do the same thing in office. In fact, a survey very recently said that 1/3 of people who have just graduated out of college would compromise on their salary but look out for the tools that really help or are there in that organization. Something to really think about. Look at the way that things are changing. IT has done wonders. In the last 30 years, if you look at 30 years back, the way that we work, it's very different. We had people sitting in a place, having physical offices, being productive, working on the projects in the silo systems. Fantastic. Working maybe 9 to 5 on devices that the office provided. But now it's changed. The new way of designing these principles is, I want it anywhere. Any team. It's more about team collaboration. It's more about having access to my data anywhere from whatever device that I can carry at any time. The CIOs of today are talking about void, right? Bring your own device. This is what I want to do in my organization. And when people, the CEOs of the world, talk about this into the CIOs, trust me, they get a headache. What? can I do now to make sure that I have my data so secure and get my users to do this? It's not an easy task. The way that we work is also changing.
So yeah, I think we're good. I think that about wraps it up. So
Great. I'll send a follow-up email.
there's nothing much to follow up on, so
Well, we should regroup.
we just regrouped. This is the regrouping.
Cool, I'll ping you later.
You're pinging me now. What do you want to ping about?
Next steps?
There are no next steps. We just solved it.
All right.
Trust me, what you saw there is not something that's there in the future. It's happening now. It's happening now, real time. I would encourage, if any one of you doesn't believe it, come to one of our Google offices. We never use our phones on our desks. We use Hangouts. This is the way that we interact. We chat in real time. Trust me, this is what has happened. What you saw there is actually happening today. And that's the way the world is changing. The way we are working is changing. And it's leaders like you who are driving this within organizations. And that's where Google helps our customers to be that innovators. What did we really do in the enterprise world? You heard Ricky talk about a few of those things, but it all started from a search. Google was started as a search engine, right, on the web. We said we have the technology, we know how to search. What better way than to offer it to our enterprise? And that's where the search box was born, which is what we call the GSA, which lies within the organization premises and helps organizations and the users search for within the walls of their organization. It's powerful. It has all the algorithms that actually drives Google on the web today, and it's available to you right in a box. The other thing is cloud. We are a firm believer that innovation today is being driven by organizations that actually embrace the cloud. And we have the platform that we offer today in a plethora of ways. We not only have Google Apps that I'll talk a little bit more about. I'm sure, how many of you have actually a Gmail account? Oh, I should have asked, sorry. How many of you don't have a Gmail account? That's easy. But people have gone there. And Google Apps is our suite of messaging and productivity suite, which helps organizations and users not only increase the user productivity, but helps build team productivity. Because it's important in today's world to not be productive as an individual, but be more productive as a team. It's a team effort. We also, you saw some glimpses of our geospatial offerings, like Google Earth, Google Maps and APIs. That's a whole new world. And we at Google really think that that's where the world is going to. If you really look, the technology trends that are really happening today, it's about these three pillars: the cloud, the mobile, and the social. We all knew it, and fortunately for me, I've been associated with in the cloud world for the last 7-8 years. If I went to a CIO or a CX or CEO and told him that, I'm here to sell you a cloud solution 6 years back, oh, sorry, my data is so secure that it needs to be within my 4 walls. Is it that secure within your 4 walls? Maybe, maybe not. But by 2016, and that's what Gartner predicts, that 50% of the global CI IT, of global companies would have sensitive data in the public cloud. If organizations like GE and banks like BBVA can embrace the cloud and have the data in the cloud, do you know the kind of money that organizations who have these cloud platforms spend to make sure that your data is as secure as possible? Not many organizations can even dream of having that kind of money being spent on security. Mobile. We at Google believes, and it's true, either everything happens on a device like this, or it happens on a device which of such mammoth proportions that no one single organization can actually afford it. And if you really look at our solutions, every one of them, this is how you access it. And it's not just the Facebooks, it's not the LinkedIns. I have a colleague of mine here, down from Sydney. He probably is, James, and I'm sure it will be great to interact with him. He heads our apps business in the entire JPAC. But he literally lives off a suitcase for a few weeks in a month. And all he uses is probably his different devices that he has. And you should ask him how much of his work he gets done on his mobile. I don't know, I just before coming to this place, I had the BBC on and they talked about BlackBerry launching their new 10 series, a smartphone, trying to compete, and the guy who was talking about, who's going to take the third position, whether it's going to be Nokia or the BlackBerry, and it's just going to be smartphones, right? Social, we already spoke about it, how important it is. This is the way that people are actually communicating today, in the consumer way. And they're looking at how can tools within the organization help me be more social. Gartner has a very interesting philosophy. They talk about these three pillars, clubbed with data, clubbed with information, which makes it the powerful nexus of how organizations today are going to be embracing these three things, whether it be the cloud, whether it be the mobile, or whether it be the social element. And that's why Google Solutions has an offering right in every possible segment. We are listening to what organizations are asking for. We are listening to what our users are asking for. I'm sure we'll probably spend a few days talking about each one of them. But the reason that I'm standing in front of you is Google as a platform today has such an offering that really helps organization. And it stems from the fact that our objective in life, all our employees is how can we make the users be more productive? How can we bring about that innovation that organizations are looking on? And it's for leaders like you to select that very platform that can really help you. So if you broadly divide, I can't cover everything probably on a slide, but from the enterprise business, this is where it stands. I spoke about the GSA, which is our search appliance, and we have even a commerce search. Geospatial talks about the maps, the APIs, and the coordinate, and the enterprise cloud, which is the apps, content management, the platform that I spoke about, devices and social. I'll probably go a little deeper into, and this is a movement. We have more than 5 million business customers across the globe that have gone Google. And you know what? 5,000 new organizations join us every day across the globe. There must be some reason. There must be some reason today why their cloud as a platform is being embraced. Why an organization like Google is being embraced by leaders like you to bring about that innovation. Google Apps. So I spoke to you about it being our messaging and collaboration platform, which helps organizations bring about that innovation. There are four real, I would say, pillars of why what this Google Apps is all about. One, it's a pure and proven cloud. You do not need to install anything on your laptop or on your mobile to run these applications. All you need is a browser. Very funnily, I used to work for a company like called Salesforce.com. I'm sure you've heard about it. I'm talking about 5-6 years back when the cloud was still a mystery. One of my customers bought some license of Salesforce.com, and I was asked to pick up the PO from the finance department. So I go up to this guy and I say, you know what, I'm from Salesforce.com, I'm supposed to pick up some order form. He says, yeah, I can give the order form, but where's my CD? I said, CD? What CD are you talking about? Where is the application? How do I install it? I said, there is no CD. It's all in the cloud. Probably that's changed a lot, but that's reality today. Teamwork. You saw a few videos about how important today it is not to be just individual as an individual be productive, but how can I be productive as a team? And with the tools that are part of the Google Apps, we make that possible. It's not just about Hangouts. It's about Google Docs. It's how I can collaborate today, and we do it. I have a couple of my colleagues here. When we have to make that presentation or present it to Ricky, we don't have different versions. I don't have one version, Shashank or Harshal don't have another version of it. We work on the same document at probably different times, using different machines, even different types of machines. There is just one version. Simple and affordable. If you ask a CIO, I'm sure you would have heard of a company called Microsoft, right? How easy or how complex some of those applications or how the contractors. I've heard a CIO talk about just a few weeks back, tell me that he, as a CIO, spends every month a day to make sure that the licensing contract is in place with different such applications. This is simple. It's per user. How many users there are? That's it. And you get all the added functionality that we add on at the same time. More than 1.5 billion users who use Google Apps across the world get all these new functionality at the same time. Productive anywhere. It's device agnostic. All you need is a browser. You don't need anything that gets installed on your machine or on your mobile.
Said I tried to find a way, I gotta wear something, and the guns are
mobility, I don't need to talk more about this than what I think we all know how important it is. We need to have access to all the information whenever we are on the road, right? I can never ever think of even telling my boss that I didn't have access to the internet. You had your mobile, right? The Google Cloud, I spoke about it, but it comprises many different things that we offer from it, and this is just a small little glimpse. We offer what we call the cloud storage, so you can store data today that is important to you with all the possible security that you can think about, all in the cloud. You don't have to worry about those servers lying in the backyards and getting in a fire, because everything is going to be in the cloud with Google's infrastructure. And trust me, the infrastructure that we offer you today is the same infrastructure that runs Google today. So you can imagine how important we think your data or your application is. We are offering you the same very infrastructure. It's nothing different. BigQuery. There are tons and huge amount of data that organizations have today. And rather than install the complex BI tools, there is a solution from Google that can help you evaluate that data, and all in the cloud. Using the power today that runs Google, you are able to run queries on your data to help you get to business decisions. The compute engine and the app engine, today you want to run applications in the cloud using security possibly the best ever, you can do that. Or something like infrastructure as a service is what our compute engine is all about. We offer you machines today, virtual machines today, to run your applications. But what can maps do to my business? Most of the data today that organizations has something called has some coordinates. You heard some of the use cases, but today, Google Maps runs more than 900,000 websites today. And our vision from especially the geospatial is to help you organize the world's location data and make it available to anyone